Hello Kennedy artists. Today with your sub you're going to be making scrap paper figures. And this is a type of found object art, which means you're taking scraps that already exist in the art room and you're turning that trash into treasure. This will be easier for you if you think of these as clowns or characters that don't necessarily have to have realistic colors, because a lot of our scraps are not going to be skin tone colors. So this is one I have made before and I'm going to start a new one in front of you. So for this project, you're going to need your own sheet of black paper. Your sub will have given you piles of scraps to look through, and you're going to need a glue bottle. The first thing you're going to have to do is go through the scraps and look for some that you like the shapes or colors of. I've already done this step, and I've picked out one for my torso, or the tummy and chest. You'll notice I'm putting dot, dot, not a lot of glue on the back of this. And my torso, the tummy and chest is going to get placed right in the middle of my paper. Now you need to start thinking about proportion. Proportion is a fancy art word for making sure that the different parts of your body are the correct size next to each other, or pretty close. Obviously, because these are clowns or more silly characters, maybe big feet would look appropriate in this case. But you want to look for length and size that makes sense. For example, I'm going to look for a head that is smaller than my torso. So I have already selected that scrap. I'm going to leave a little space for a neck. And then I had been looking and I found this piece, which to me kind of looked like it was already legs or tights. It may be that you have to make just a tiny little change. You're not going to be cutting a new shape, but I am going to trim off this little bit that is bent over. So I need to put my dot, dot, not a lot on this piece. I'm going to lift up the edge here. You can see I'm already starting to get the head, torso, legs, and now I need to start looking for feet and arm scraps. I'm going to do the next portion in time lapse so it goes a little bit quicker, but you're going to see I'm paying attention to proportion, the length and size of things as I add them. Alright Kennedy artists, at this point I have a character with 2 feet, legs, a torso, 2 arms, hands, hair, a head, and a hat. You can start thinking about adding other details. For example, you might find some things that you want to go on top of the clothes. I found this really cool scrap before. I'm probably not going to use the whole thing. I'm going to cut out a piece I can use. There's probably going to be a stripe across the middle of the clothes here. For younger grades, it may take a while just to make the figure. Older grades, you can start looking at adding details to make it look like your character is doing something. Mine's going to be juggling. I found this round scrap, so here's one of the balls that the character is juggling. I happen to find this kind of motion line already cut, so I can make it look like my character is moving by placing this out here. I found this awesome swirl, but I'm not really sure how I want to use it yet. I'm just going to kind of put it off to the side and I'll think about that. At this point, you may need to take a scissors and just take a little bit of piece. I needed a second juggling item. It's going to go right up here in my work. So I'm going to time lapse adding a few more details, and you can do the same on your clown. Alright Kennedy artists, now you're done with the scraps. Everyone should help with cleanup. There shouldn't be a single scrap left on the tables or underneath on the floors. Everybody's going to need to pitch in. We're to the final step, which is adding details. There's 2 choices today. Crayons. They show up on almost any color paper. And there are also construction paper crayons in the green bins. So they both will kind of work the same. The construction paper crayons have a little bit lighter colors, but they're a little less messy. Your sub will have to choose which they would like to use. So I'm going to be going in ahead and adding some of the details I maybe couldn't find paper for or are too small. So I think first I'm going to be putting a nose on my clown. And then I'm going to be adding a nice big smile. I'm going to be adding some stripes and polka dots to the clothes. Another thing I'll be adding is motion lines, which are some of these lines out here that make it look like your clown or character is moving. So I'm going to go into time lapse so I can do that a little bit quicker for you. So boys and girls, the neat thing about this project is the same supplies, the same amount of time, but everybody's different ideas comes up with totally different characters, depending on the day, the time, and what scraps you find. These should definitely go in the drying rack at the end of class. I'll see you when I come back. Have fun.